Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Lucid, and I am joined once again by Maryland.
Howdy, everybody.
So, last turn, and oh my god, look at the screen. Look how much green there is on there. Oh my god.
That's a lot of green.
That's a lot
yeah.
green.
A quick mini spoiler. There's some yellow back at green, some green at yellow. And it's mostly Pangaea green.
So last turn was a kind of slow turn. We've had a few that weren't as action packed as they have been in the past now. We've had two in a row that have been a little slow.
No. Yeah. Two in a row with a lot of diplomacy changes and the whole not meta, but the strategic view of the grand level of the game has kind of shifted in significant ways. I'm noticing no pink or red here on the list, so we'll get to that. But that's one of the big discussions is, just when is this Vanheim Pelagia action going to occur? And because we know what Ulm's doing pretty clearly. We know what Pangaea is doing pretty clearly. And we know what Ashdod's doing.
Yeah.
And then the other teams are on their way out.
Right. And we did have a significant clash between Ind and Pangaea last turn. Ind had been basically running away from the Pangaean armies, and they just got a new sub, and so the new sub was probably putting together what best they had and to form it up into a unit, and they didn't have the right things. And I don't think they knew what was coming, and they got pounded.
They did. I think they got out of position. I think he didn't intend to. He didn't mean to fight that army of Pan. I don't think he did because he wasn't really ready.
Yeah, it could be. And certainly, I mean, from my perspective, Ind had been getting progressively kind of more out of position as the game was going forward, for a while. But he just didn't have what he needed to fight a fatigue play. So we'll see if Ind is able to adapt, maybe, because it looks like just from the flags here that there is an extremely intense Pangaean offensive after taking out that Ind medium army.
There sure does. Just looking at the flags. So I'm sure we'll get to it as we go.
Let's start with Ctis. With Van having made peace with Ulm, this looks to be an end. I will be fighting to the death and not rolling over, despite being pounded by 5 earth attacks a turn.
So we did not know about the earth attacks. I mean, it's been mentioned previously, but 5 a turn, that's a lot.
Yeah. I don't actually approve. I mean, there's some people who love remote assassins. Like, they love them. I don't, because you're capping out how good a trade can be. Like, you're saying, I'm going to pay 5 gems for a % chance to kill one of your mages. Like, you can't win that hard when you're casting the remotes like that. Like, there's certainly a time and a place they're good, but it's like,
It depends on their cost, and what you're targeting.
Right.
When you see a solo light thug.
Yeah. I mean, if you're killing gems,
an earth attack. But to bomb them into forts where they could be stuffed with garbage and wasting them on garbage, or mind hunts if you see a super combatant.
Or even
and you can snipe
even if he is hitting Marshmasters, right, which are a high value target. Great. You've traded 5 gems to have like a 70% chance or an 80% chance to kill a Marshmaster.
Well, but it also depends on what else is in the stack.
Right.
If it's stacked with scouts and other stuff, because first it's got to target at random what it's going to target.
Right.
And now, of course, things change when you're dealing with, say, Infernal Disease, because it's effectively very cheap.
Yeah, slaves are a good bit cheaper. So.
Yeah, but Earth Attack is one of the more expensive. And then recently I'm in a Dominions Enhanced game with Send Moray, or Moray, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's 10 air gems, but the thing has a Soul Slay sword.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, yeah. But on the other hand, and then I just had the worst luck in that when it happened to hit the big commander, so all the troops got left behind. I mean, there was 20 different commanders and scouts
Yeah.
and other magi in that stack, and it got the one that hurt me the most.
So, I think it comes back to what you were saying, which is if it's a thug and they have gear on them and you're going to be killing the gear, it can be a good value. If there's an army you can strand and then pick off, it can be a good value. But just chunking it into forts, I feel like too strategically from Ulm, he needs those gems. He can't afford to be spending 25 gems a turn on earth attacks for a nation that he...
Well,
look at the score graphs between him and Ctis. He should be pounding Ctis into the goddamn ground without it. Now there's...
You just turn...
Yeah, we'll turn back on.
You just turn them off. Yeah.
And I know we've seen the Wind of Death stuff, so it's not that simple. But he should be pounding him into... look at the research. Into the goddamn ground. He doesn't need to spend 25 gems. He needs those gems. Anyway, going on a tangent.
Well, we talked last turn that, I was thinking, in this situation for Ulm, there's certain Earth summons that he could make very good use of right now. Particularly the one that came to mind was Mechanical Men.
Yeah.
They'll hold up, and they're quite cost effective.
Yeah.
But still, that does, that when you're the target of 5 remote assassinations a turn, it knocks you silly because you're just scrambling all over the place. You got to split your troops up amongst multiple commanders. You got to try to escort with scouts that aren't stealthy.
Yeah.
You got to try to buy independent commanders or bring along crappy cheap priests, or there's various defenses, but none of them are perfect, and they're all fiddly. And they're fiddly and they're frustrating. And
yeah, they are. And domes even are another thing you can do too. So.
There's that too,
especially when you're going into a cap defense situation. But
and stacking domes is particularly effective. But I see a lot of blue.
Yeah. No, I
see a lot of blue, and I don't see a neater sitting on the map.
Yeah, I don't know where it went. It might have magic phased to a different fort, or I don't see any strikeouts really.
No. So
we'll have to see. Let me see how many candles. Oh, so this doesn't have many candles either. Only 5.
Yeah. Could we check his Dominion graph briefly?
Yeah.
Because
I think he was. I think it's getting hammered a little. It's not.
It's stable.
Yeah. Okay.
So Ulm is not specifically preaching.
Yeah. This probably has Daydream. Yeah.
Daydream.
100 Evils multi-way. This is Ulm's Dominion, I think. Or no, is that...
Yes.
No, this is Ctis. Daydream is Insgod, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I see what
I was
you're
looking
saying.
at the
You're saying
candles.
the name of the god.
I was looking at the...
Yeah, you're looking at the name on the candles. Right, because we could see those.
Yeah, okay. So, okay. Not too much happening. If we let's look at Vanheim. Since they're kind of up here. They've caught a wild boar.
So somebody's throwing monster boars out. Probably Pan. That's a national spell. I think Pan's the only monster boar nation in this game at the moment.
Yeah.
I can take a quick look at that.
Wait, take a quick look at what?
Just who can cast monster boar?
Oh yeah,
There's not very many
just
nations.
Pan.
But I think a couple of the Heims can.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, we'd have to look in Mod Inspect. I don't think I have a way to look.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So we don't see. Okay, we're starting to. Well, I don't know. We don't really see a ton of troop movement from Vanheim onto Pelagia. So.
Yeah. So monster boar is only 2 nations in Middle Age: Arco and Pan.
Okay.
So we know that Pan is throwing, unrest spells at Vanheim, which some people would consider a violation of the NAP, especially when it can't be anybody else doing it.
Well, it could have been he was targeting Ulm from before, because that's previous Ulm. That's what I would actually expect. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for Pangaea to fuck with Vanheim right now. So.
No, he's busy.
So you want to do Pangaea next, and we'll go to this very, very hot.
We don't think You don't think we have anything more to say about the Almish?
I don't think so. Can you?
Almish statistics. Just a quick hit the
Oh,
battle report,
whoops.
see if the needers. Oh,
Okay, glad you.
well, there was
There's a
one.
little thing. So he's breaking out. Are these the white mage thugs? People loved the white mage thugs in the
yes.
comments, and these are.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think this is enough.
I mean,
So I'm guessing fellow pictures. The Air Queen's here.
living clouds. That will probably do it. Nothing over here is going to do good against air elementals.
Oh, and some thunder strikes, some pillars of fire. Oh boy. Oh, one. Is it getting away? No, it's busy trying to. Oh, it's blocked by air elementals.
What? This looks like a Black Lord thug. Are we... Oh, but it's expensive. I think this is stolen gear.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay, that's cheap. An axe of sharpness.
Yeah.
Holy
relatively.
Scourge. Understandable.
Okay,
And this is
so-
for the god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starting to see them.
So we're seeing some Blackboard dogs.
We're not seeing, in my opinion, what are the stereotypical ones yet, which is where they only have one gem items on them, and usually you leave the shield and the armor, and you just replace this one and the miscellaneous. But
Holy Scourge is two-handed, isn't it?
yeah, it's also 10 gems.
No, I think Holy Scourge is only one-handed.
It's two-handed.
Oh, it is.
And it's 10 gems. So
Yeah.
it used to be 5 gems. When it was 5 gems, almost making these for 1 gem a pop. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. So there's that one, and then there was a couple of the small ones. I just wondered if one of them might have had the neater. Okay,
No, I
nothing
don't
there
think so.
significant.
That's
minor.
it, I think. I mean, there's this thing.
The one, just that one there.
Yeah.
Nope. And then, so I'm guessing the neater's back in a fort. Well, it has to be here. We'd see.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost certainly in one of these too.
We didn't see it die, and I don't think it's going to be pretty hard to kill it. It'll just return back.
And almost done a good job putting all these forts on lockdown too. So there's no more mages. And I mean, you can see what he's trying to do with the earth attacks. He's got the forts on lockdown, so no more mages, and he's trying to kill them all with earth attacks, which I don't think you need to do that, but okay.
But he has taken some pretty hefty attrition in this fight, so he might be feeling that let's play the safer game, because it is safe.
Yeah.
Spamming earth attacks, you don't risk an army.
I wonder too, looking at this battle again, did Ulm have turn 1 anti-magic off? No.
Just poison resistance.
One item that, and I don't know if he has it, but one item Ctis could get a lot of mileage out of right now is a shade mail and flying boots, because then he could have had the god fly out from here and intercept the army here and then fly. Like, he can just shade mail and flying boots is a pretty good combo, because it just lets you, almost no matter what's happening, jump from fort to fort wherever you want to be to defend on the outside.
A quick glance around, I'm not seeing that Ctis has ever had any air sites or any earth sites.
Yeah,
or not much.
but I mean, you can trade in a game like this, and
you trade for them,
And he also has air on his god too, so he.
Well, I knew he did that. Yeah, I knew he did that.
Yeah.
So, and he might be able to just buy them pre-made from somebody.
Okay, so it looks like Ulm is starting to tighten the screws on Ctis real hard.
Yeah, I think if we check quickly the army graph, I think just Ctis is taking a fair beating.
Yeah, just continuing to dive.
Yeah, it's steady attrition. Yeah. So he can't replace losses, and he's slowly losing troops.
And the nice thing about him piecing out with Vanheim, aside from staying in the game, is that he can you can see he's doing like a slow cook on Ctis. He's got the forts under siege, which we already talked about. But, he can also potentially crack all 3 forts at once and then storm 3 of them, and then whichever ones the god isn't at, he'll probably win. So,
right.
And he can have answers to the god too. So, but
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I think that was.
And I think we've done Vanheim too. There's not much happening. We're just looking for troop movement. If there's a lot of troops piling up near Pelagia, and we don't see those yet.
No, I'm watching to see which way the storm demons move, because we might not see some of the glamored guys. but we'll definitely see the big blobs of storm demons.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're still stuck more or less in the middle of Ulm.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Storm demons actually are one of the best amphibious units too. So where they go is going to have a lot to say about how Vanheim plans on conducting this war, because they can murder stuff underwater. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, just they patched out the fire their lightning bolts underwater though, didn't they? Because there was a time when they could shoot their lightning bolts.
I'm not totally sure. Let's try a test game real quick.
You know, you got one.
I think let's summon a storm demon. And I think this guy's amphibious. We'll give him a storm demon. And we'll put him on attack. We'll put him on fire. We'll send them underwater. Oh, wait. Stay put. I gotta make him a...
Oh, he needs a water breathing item. Yeah.
Do this. Okay.
I'm just curious because there was a time.
Oh yeah, it still works. Yeah, I thought it still worked.
Oh, it still works. Yeah, it still works. I always found that odd.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little weird.
It is a little weird. I mean, yes, there's lightning in the water, but it's pretty short range. Yeah. And if you were to do realism, if you were to blast a kind of a Tesla cannon in the water, it would scatter.
It's like you're immediately in contact with ground the second you leave it. I mean, I don't even know what it would do. I assume it would just disperse like a particle, not even like a streak.
Well, my understanding is electric eels. It's like a little bit of a small cloud.
Yeah. Or that's kind of what I would think.
And it is actually electric, whereas I think the jellyfish are actually a poison barb.
Yeah.
So back we are.
So yeah, they work really well underwater from that. And one of the things that makes them so good underwater is there's not a lot of evocations you can do underwater. So like things get clogged up in the fort gates and stuff. And these guys are ethereal, so they can walk through fort gates, and they can pummel shit really hard with, the lightning, which is, you don't really have a lot of good, strong range stuff underwater. So.
Well, and it's pretty rare to have any lightning resist in the water.
Right. Yeah. That's not normally something you're worried about. You're not worried about like, Wrathful Skies or something. It's...
Yeah. Like Ground Army, I'm pretty sure a lot of water nations could pull that off or something. But even so, they're all only troop resistances are only 5s. So unless you've got it on a blast or something.
It's okay. Who do you want to do next?
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, we better do Pan.
You want to read these?
Sure. The new Ind didn't have a great first turn, but he's not a cowardly platypus, so I'm sure he'll persevere. Since he's pulled back troops from where they were spread out to counter raiders, I suppose he's doing a great reorganization, and I'll soon see some new scripting. And that's kind of what we thought. The army that he gathered up near the Throne of Blood slaves has some forward deployed dudes for body ethereal, which can be punished by, like, wolves, I believe he means howl, and archers, and other pretty straightforward things. Not sure if I'll get the chance to do so before another big fight, though, since I don't tend to keep too many permanent wolves around and haven't recruited basically any archers. So he's talking, I guess, about high combat speed, inexpensive troops that could rush forward very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And try to take out the relatively squishy astral magi that are going to be
doing body ethereal
buffing.
Okay.
Because it is... I mean, we've seen, that was a long time ago, but we've seen that quite amazing little prickle of magi and the troops walking by and getting their buffs as they walk by.
That was a long time ago, but yeah. Feels like a different game even.
It does. I'm thinking about empowering my second pretender into blood to get vampires. Oh, so he means the Anuki, I think. Since otherwise they would need a death empower as well. Okay, I'm going to keep needing more blood, and vampires are definitely the best way to expand that. Vampire lords, then I gather, is what he means. Because vampires and troops, I'm not terribly fond of. It used to be when you could summon a bunch of them at a time. It was a different story.
Yeah, I don't think there's
on him also.
ever a case for using that spell. The summon
No,
normal
no.
vampire. Yeah.
No, and even the ones that, and it's not really worth using your summon allies, I think.
Yeah.
There's better things to be doing with the Vampire Lord.
Well, that's how it used to be. It used to be the summon allies worked for getting vampires. Now it doesn't even do that. So.
Yeah. Having B1 on him also would let him reinvigorate himself, which adds some scripting flexibility. Yes, it does. A significant factor. And makes a big difference if you wanted to put him into as a communion master.
So this is Pangaea attacking... Okay, there's nothing in here.
An empty fort.
Yeah, this fort was once defended by a gateway army, but it looks like it's since been abandoned.
Okay.
Okay.
A pro.
So he's catching some scouts.
Oh, he's just catching some scouts. There's the Unuki.
Yeah, he catches...
Anunnaki, I
There's
guess.
4 devils here. That's a little surprising, because these are... Oh, it's just the troop.
Oh.
Right? They run? Because there's nothing... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because there was no undead leader. Yeah, they just got left behind somehow.
So he catches some thugs here. He's got some lions. People say they don't like lions. This is a good example of why I think they're pretty good. Like, Centaur warriors are considered to be pretty good troops. You know?
Lions aren't too shabby. Their stat are fairly good, and these guys, I believe, are disciplined.
Yeah. And they ruined these dudes.
Yeah. So undisciplined is a bit of a challenge, but disciplined is a different story. I believe the Great Lions as well. No, they are undisciplined.
There's 3 types of them, 3 colors. One of the colors is, I think, blue. The blue ones, we can watch in the battle. I'll show you. The blue ones are disciplined. So you can actually...
Okay.
If you're being really try-hard, they actually have different purposes. Like, these are stealthy, so you can put them on bitch mothers. These are disciplined, so you can script them. And these other ones, which are undisciplined and don't have stealthy, I think they have slightly better stats. So they all kind of have their own unique purposes.
If you've got enough to sort of split them up. Yeah, it's a little like doing 5 gates.
Yeah, right.
You know, the splitting up can be a nuisance.
So this is interesting. This is just a few maenads and a pan, and he's going to do Strength of Gaia, and then these guys are running in. It's a few soldier priests and then some of these lady warriors.
Oh, the pan is putting up mass protection.
Okay, and now it's probably, I guess it's going to go in advance and cast, and try to charm some of these guys. Yeah. They do team colored squares here.
Sleep Cloud.
Okay, and then charm.
Putting them to sleep, some of the maenads are berserked. Yeah, adding in the mass protection. Now, what are they at? They're just at 10 protection, but...
That Sleep Cloud did a lot of work. It's basically effectively killed 6 of them just in one cast.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty effective. Pretty cost effective. Single gem.
I mean, a bunch of maenads which are worth nothing, and then 1 mage. That was extremely efficient. Yeah. Now, it looks like there used to be a commander here, and the commander got seduced. So I think this was actually a double whammy.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So In's attempts to pull back are being hampered by continuous seduction and harassment, and there might be even remote assassinations, but I doubt it. Pan doesn't really need to be doing that.
It's kind of one of the things, and we were talking a little bit about it last time, was that, you know, when Pan gets you in this game of raiding and counter raiding, which you have to kind of play with him to a degree, you know, you start suffering attrition from, you know, people getting seduced and whatnot. We probably can see one of the... Oh, maybe not. Okay. I was thinking we would see a dryad with the... Oh, I guess the dryad will be hidden, and we would see an end dude who got seduced here. We should see them in an adjacent province. I don't know where they are. Oh. Oh
my.
So Daedroom is rolling in. Does not have Ritual of Returning or anything, but he does have Phoenix Pyre.
But he's sure starting to get afflicted.
He sure is.
I don't know which ones those were, but depending on what they are, they could be fairly devastating. Oh, this is the fatigue play army.
Yep.
But that isn't going to do much. Oh, it's the damn imps.
Yeah, these imps are going to keep him right there up at 100. Oh, they're actually hurting him a lot.
Yeah, they are. They're killing him quite quickly.
I think he's done Rush of or Bloodlust or whatever on them.
They're hitting pretty hard. What's the strength?
What's the... Okay, the current max HP is not very high. I was like, why is it so low? But he's got Never Healing Wound, and he's got Shrunken. So he's actually not really dying. He's pretty stable. I saw him at 50 hit points. I assumed he was dying.
But he's in... and he finally gets his personal regen up.
So now he's going to be regenning for 10 a turn. And then Shockwave. Oh, and these guys are on Guard Commander.
Almost all the way.
I think everything's gonna...
there's a pan coming advancing cast.
I'm gonna call this, Maryland. I think that this is going to fatigue out both sides and the battle's gonna time out.
Oh, okay. Can you hit the Control C?
Yeah.
Okay, there we are. We're only on 11.
Oh, there's Petrify spam going, but...
Oh, Petrify, okay.
But there's Rigor Mortis up, so there's not going to be a ton. Stream of Life and Petrify.
So there must be some lifelongs. It's looking like 3 or 4 lifelong protections. This is a lot of continuous income.
But he actually kind of likes it. It's going to keep his fatigue down, so he can keep blasting these spells out. I wonder how many kills he has.
Shockwave.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
I don't know if I've seen such a high number. If I have, it's been a long time. Oh my god.
Maybe only like a giant soul vortexing thug that... I've seen really high numbers if a super combatant has had to deal with a lot of Vengeance of the Dead. Because that could be 300-500 kills each time it's cast, and then it just exponentially goes up.
Oh gosh.
But eventually that times out.
Yeah.
So we're still only at 35.
These Petrifies might get him.
So nothing's running away. I would have thought. Doesn't that Baphomet have some fear?
It might. It just might. No,
it doesn't. Okay. And it can't wear a hat. Or can't wear a helmet. Oh, water elemental coming up kind of late. So these pans, what's their fatigue like? The ones in the front here.
Let's take a look. Now they have reinvigoration. And Pan has relief up here, so they actually have effectively 6 reinvigoration. So with Earth Power and this, they can kind of shrug off. Uh-oh. He got frogged.
Oh.
He got frogged.
Oh,
again.
No.
Daedrew, the transforming.
Oh, good grief.
When have you seen a pretender get frogged twice in the same game?
I know. That crazy ass spell. And then it's... Okay, then it dies.
It didn't actually accomplish that much. I didn't account for the frogging. Damn it.
Didn't. No, I didn't think of the frogging, but the other one is... I mean, all it really ever was able to kill was imps, which were free.
That was funny.
That's a lot of... I'm thinking that was 4 lifelong protections.
Yeah.
Because it looked to me like they were coming in waves of 8.
Yeah, it was a lot. It might have even been more. Oh my god.
Might have been.
Oh my god.
Ouch. Ouch.
Oh,
so now he's got to call it back.
Okay. Won't be the first time that Pretender's been called back.
No, but how many armies does Int have left? 2? Really?
He's got this one, and he's got oh goodness. Okay, well let's watch some of these.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we took another fort. Okay, that's a token force.
I mean, there's nothing here.
Those are those.
All of his stuff is down in Uruk.
Yeah, those are those Nature 1 independent magi, I think.
Yeah, they're the Or they're blood mages, actually. Yeah.
Oh, cannibal.
Yeah.
Oh, those cannibals.
Oh, charmed.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what Pangaea needs is, and he's totally going to start doing send horror with this too.
Oh boy. Oh wow. Ouch. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
But like, where's the army to defend this? Oh, they've got Uruk. I don't know. I think this is just the things coming home to roost.
Yeah. He's sure getting split apart.
Yeah. I mean, you can argue the better call would have been to defend one of these rather than to YOLO the god into one of these places, but
maybe.
I think he was thinking. Maybe. I think what he was thinking is this army is probably going to come here, and he was trying to gym bait it so that he would win this fight here on top of this fort. That was what the end player was thinking.
Oh yeah, okay.
And if he,
that's not bad.
If he did that, it would have been great. But it came at the expense of sacrificing both of these, and then the army didn't do that. So,
right. So the big fatigue army of Pangaea moved into Agartha.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, moment. That's exactly where it moved.
Yeah, and then we'll move out from there.
And so at this point, I think End is in like objectively an unplayable position now.
It's a significantly worse position than it was 2 turns
ago.
Last turn was some hard hits, and this turn, the god's out now, so it's going to take him a while before he can do gem bait tricks.
Yeah.
It's a rough situation for him.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Some raiding here. Some raiding here with imps. It doesn't work. Raiding here with maenads.
Did you figure out the name of the substitute for End?
I think it might be Brave Platypus. I need to go check, though.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is why he said he's not a cowardly platypus.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's how that references. I'm just going to see if I can find him. Oh, that's not working.
Look at that. And you know, this is not, I mean, it's cheap, but it's not that cheap. These are 40 gems. So.
No, they're not cheap at all. When you've got, and he's got a lot of them out and around. Sorry, I just jumped over to Discord to see if I can find that person and for next episode maybe ask him a few questions. But there's not a lot more to say here. We just got some simple. You know, Pan has 2 or 3 very dangerous armies. 3, really.
Yeah, he's got 1, 2, 3 and a half. Yeah.
I kind of would think those are kind of 1. Depends on the mage support in each one.
Yeah.
One of them has the Anuki running around, and he's got his god running around. We saw that, the Frostfather. So these are very dangerous armies. And
the problem though is End doesn't really have the right mage composition with any of his armies. They're kind of, and I think the problem I've said this before, but when you run them around like this, you're running them around away from where the mages you need to get to make them actually effective are. So, yeah.
I think also, and we don't really see it, I have a suspicion he's had a lot of attrition of his magi from dryads and little raids. We've seen 1 die here, 2 die there, all that kind of stuff going on steadily.
Yeah.
And
he's
probably
you have to imagine for each of the End dudes who we've seen stolen, you only steal about 1 in 8 of them.
Yeah.
That means for everyone we've seen stolen, there's been probably 7 more who've died.
Exactly, because very few of them will be able to stand up to even the simplest dryad with a swarm with a nature gem. Very few.
Yeah.
So that could also be a factor that we don't easily see, is just how much the attrition of especially his lower end magi.
Yeah.
Because they're very
the Astra ones you actually can't save. There's nothing you can do. The bitch mothers and the cap mages, you can put gems on them and they can they can win assassin battles. But the Astral 1 dudes, there's nothing for them to cast. Their only hope is if you put a gem on them, and they may choose to do mind burn round 1, and they may kill the Dryad. That's their only possible winning move to win a seduction battle.
Yeah, and very few bodyguards do any good against swarm assassins or lifelong protection assassins.
Yeah.
I mean, bodyguards aren't going to do you a hoot worth of good because they don't kill quick enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe score graphs. Yeah, let's do the comparison.
Where the hell is? Oh, I've clicked Pangaea end.
Yeah. Okay, so provinces. Oof! Yikes.
So you could say the sub is starting to lose. I mean, it's been a losing trajectory for the past 10 turns, though. I think. Anyway, that. Yeah.
It has.
It was definitely a particularly rough turn when the sub came in and they had this loss. But but army size, he's still got some. Yeah.
He's stable, but what about forts? Forts has dropped down significantly.
It's okay. It's almost all his forts are under siege, though. It's the problem. Well, no, it dropped down 2 this turn. Wait, how many? I'm probably not speaking right. What's under siege? He's got this one under siege. This one's soon to be under siege, probably. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not that bad.
And a little one up over in the far northeast.
Yeah. This one,
with a tiny siege. I see a few imps on top of this, on that throne.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Yeah.
But that's pretty tiny.
The problem, though, is composition. It needs to have the right mages in the army at the same time.
I was also curious, if we look at his income graph, I'm wondering if he's at the negative income now.
Oh, we'll take a look. The other thing of note here, it's interesting, he has all blue lions. These are the ones you can discipline. I wonder what the thinking is, but this is, I think, a big part of his army supply, too. Because these lions count for 3 and the soldiers count for 2. So I think the proportion of the good stuff in his army is maybe not as high as it once was. A lot of this is chaff on his side. So
on the graphs, yeah.
Okay, you want to look at income.
I was curious.
These graphs don't look as bad as it feels. Yeah. It feels
that many provinces.
It feels over to me. Like, it feels like it's done. But part of it's because I don't think his armies right now can fight. He doesn't have the right mages. Well, we'll see.
I guess we'll see. Should be a forced.
All right, Maryland, do you think that Ashdod is going to storm the fort, or do you think he's going to sit on it another turn? He probed it last turn. He saw what was inside, and it wasn't much.
How about we change the question? I think what he should do is storm it now.
No,
but whether or not
do you think he will?
I don't know.
Do you think he will? You don't know?
It's kind of a 50-50.
All right.
He's been hit so hard. Well, you guys are missing the most important part of this Zib-Cap defense, the Assassin War. Yes, we are missing that. So he lost his heir too with the Matrix that trapezed in that same turn. He was to be my Wrathful Caster when I stormed, so we get to wait around and see what other mages die. So he's not storming. In the meantime, I'm going to try to yoink for it with his cap.
Do it!
No.
Oh.
Yeah, because his Wrathful Caster died. Going to try to yoink a fort west of his cap, moving a gate cleaver hash on this turn to hopefully pop. I understand from Pell that Zib's Assassin's Prophet was on his throne 2 back. Okay. So I'm expecting him to be in this cave east of Xibalba, perhaps hoping to pop one of my hash mouths. That's what hash means. With his perfect morale. I'll be mine hunting there. I think Pell will mine hunt the farm 2 north of Xibalba. He's using perhaps a combination of Cauldron and Effigy there. Last turn there seemed to be frogs, this turn only Indies. Oh, okay, so he's watching his scout reports very, very carefully. I did successfully mind hunt the commander there. Maybe he doesn't realize we all know there's a PD dump there, and he's trying to bait an attack. Not sure. In Xibalba's cap, I saw nothing too scary. Apparently Misfortune 2, not enough to deny him a hero. He's got enough skeleton spam to clog the gate. He has like 0 resists, so I can't really justify trading with him. Slow walking, sneaking the air 2 in Matrix now because his luck is unbelievable. Preaching down his dominion while I wait.
Oh my god.
Okay. So, I mean, with Misfortune 2, I think you've got a 1% chance of a hero per turn.
Which, you know, you'll get... It's turn 60.
It's turn 60.
You're probably going to get a hero.
There's a reasonable chance that you would have got 1 hero or 2 heroes by now. Addendum. Ask Pelagia to ping my god off Xibalba's cap. God will cast returning. Oh, I see. He's just asking Pelagia to attack it with a scout. That'll trigger the god to cast returning, but will it? Because will it use gems?
He's probably going to magic phase or something. Like a...
Could be. Want to get home and summon an arrow? An arrow. What does he mean by an arrow?
An Ariel or something? It's like a healer nature mage. It's a special Ashdod summon. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, it's an Ashdod summon.
Yeah.
Okay. Heal some wounds on my god and later on my leper stack, then toying with the idea of transforming him so I can storm some forts. We shall see. Oh, okay. If I continue to Conjuration 9, tarts are a real possibility with Arrow and their true healer capabilities. Now I'm really curious about this Arrow thing.
I thought healing didn't work on undead, but I'm always confused about what does and what doesn't. I thought I've heard that sight healing works on undead, but I didn't think commander healing did. But who knows?
I don't know. There's funny stuff with that. I know that so Gift of Health doesn't heal the feeble-minded on tarts anymore.
You sure?
Yeah. I believe Gift of Health doesn't.
I think it does.
The only thing that does is the chalice.
No. They switched it. They switched it. The chalice used to, it doesn't. Gift of Health does. Yeah, it's the other way around. Okay,
it's the other way around.
But it used to be both.
Okay.
It used to be those were, I think, are the only 2 ways. Now chalice doesn't do it anymore. So.
Okay, here's the arrow. It's a Astral 4, Nature 1. No, that's the spell. And then what you get is a Nature 3 healer for 39 pearls. Okay. In the Diplo world, sounds like Van and Ulm pieced out a few turns back, with Ulm giving major concessions. Van tried to extort a throne from Ind, but failed, and so he ended their NAP. Van can attack turn 67. So Van trying to either to get bigger and deny Pan those lands at the same time, or positioning for the sneak throne rush and will hold the line there with Pan from within those weak fort thrones. I'm likely busy finishing Ctis. I'm busy finishing Xibalba. Only really Pan and Pelagia free enough to actively counter dangerous times. Okay, yeah. So, but I mean. Pangaea is not really a free agent. He's very committed to an awful lot of stuff going on, and it's far from over. He's got to keep playing pretty effectively. The 2 free agents right now are Vanheim and Pelagia.
Well, it's funny because last turn, Pangaea said he was a little worried that Ashdod may attack him. And you and we were like, I don't think he realizes how slow this war with Xibalba is going and how Ashdod's not really a free agent yet. But...
Yeah, I don't think he realizes either how much of a beating up Ashdod has taken. I mean, all of these diseased and starved and leper troops and the losses to expensive magi and the continuing assassins that we don't necessarily see but have been hurting, losing his valuable heir to randoms.
Yeah.
So Ashdod has not had a super easy time of things.
Right. But I think there's something important about what Sai had said, which is implicitly there's a bit of a race going on. Like, this fight against Xibalba isn't just the fight against Xibalba. He probably needs to fight Xibalba and backstab Pan or somebody, probably Pan, since he's busy, before Pan eats End. Because if Pan frees up before he does, It makes all the sense in the world for Pan to come eat him.
Yes.
Because basically and Pangaea and Vanheim are in a race to get big. That is kind of, I think, their thing. And that makes 100% sense to me, is don't fight each other because it's going to be too hard and you'll become irrelevant or less relevant while Pelagia gets their infinite stuff going. Instead, let Pelagia scale his infinite gem thing slowly while you scale up really fast by eating people.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a big border that Pangaea has with Ashdod. A very big border and a ton of big armies right there ready to move.
Right. So winning this war against Xibalba slowly, nothing came out, is maybe losing.
So I think he's saying this province where we see just some independent militias and spearmen. He thinks there's, it's got defense of 30. Yeah. So yes, it does have a giant PD dump. And looks like Xibalba punched out and counter-raided Pelagia a little bit. Oh, well, actually, Ashdod had already taken that.
We have a battle here underwater with Pelagia going after their fort.
Here he comes. Is he point buffing those cubes?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. No. The classic cube. Nope. And then now nothing on them.
Enlarge them and ethereal them.
But these ghosts are just doing absolute murder. I wonder if he got the protection buffed on them at all. Doesn't look like it. Oh, some of these got Iron Warriors on them.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, some of them got it. That makes a big difference with ghosts.
They really help go through that wall and clean everything up real fast. So.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like the cubes were just up there to maybe bait some evocations, some water strikes or something.
He didn't feel like he was sitting on this fort very long. I'm wondering if he has some like gate cleavers or something in here.
Look like it.
No. I don't know. That doesn't look like a lot of siege strength to me.
No, none of those are terribly strong. They're pretty normal.
I bet he's casting Crumble. He likes Crumble.
Oh.
That might be it.
Yeah. Of course.
Do we get an event from this? No. I know he cast it on, this fort down here. I wonder if it generates an event. It doesn't look like it does. So.
I don't think we see it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Crumble generates an event.
Yeah, I think he must have cast it. I can't think of any other way he sieged these forts this fast with an army of 60 dudes.
Yeah, that was quick. I agree with you.
So,
That's kind of it.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
I mean... we're at 47 minutes, though. We've talked long enough.
Yeah. There's nothing really to say about Uruk.
No. Is there?
Maybe the only question is, how much longer does he have candles left? So he's got quite a few.
Holding strong.
Yeah. So he's not going to die a Dominion death quickly.
No.
I mean, eventually, when you're down to a single fort and a single temple, you will.
He finally cleaned up the unrest here. It's a fair amount of income. He's making $1.70. Damn.
That's pretty funny. He might outlive Ctis.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, he could outlive Xibalba for sure.
Yeah.
The Uruk. Somebody made a comment in the last video too about the Uruk petting zoo. That's kind of what it's like.
Oh, did they? Oh, I missed that. I'll have to see that one. You mean the one you put up this morning? Yeah, I haven't checked the comments. I loaded it up, and for some reason the comments didn't load this morning.
Okay. But yeah, that's kind of what it's like. It's like, it's who wants to burn down the petting zoo?
Yeah.
Just they're not out here bothering anybody. Just let them be.
I like that. Mickey Mouse the Enkidu commander. That's something I don't do enough of, is renaming commanders to make entertainment value. I have to start thinking about that more in these games that are going to be live.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because that's a fun thing.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
All right. Yeah. Well,
the PNS broadcasting tower is one of my
Pangaea network service. Yeah. Or news service. I don't know which one it's supposed to be, but
whichever.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sai's always a rich source of humor. So, thank you for joining me, Maryland.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye, guys.
See ya.